you always mention America Chavez, and I'm like, dog, why?
Stand there. She was just standing there, just punches like a star or something. She's like, whoa.
Cherry's purpose, bro.
I hate Cherry. Thanks
Andor
for
was
watching.
painful for 8 episodes.
Actually, you
Yes,
can dislike
this,
the
bro.
video.
I'm done with
You
this
can
guy.
dislike the video since we have Noah on here.
We just finished watching Daredevil Born Again. We'll talk about the finale, of course, but we're also going to talk about what we thought about the show as a whole, maybe what we want to see in the next season, you know, things like that. So stay tuned. We're going to get right into it. Yo, welcome back to Yo Nerd, the podcast where we talk about nerd culture news, share our opinions, and debate on pretty much anything. I'm Jase.
I'm Zion.
I'm Noah.
All right, so before we get into it, spoilers for the first season of Daredevil Born Again, the original Netflix Daredevil show, and probably all of Marvel and fiction. So just spoilers going forward. Noah, go ahead.
No, you gotta start off.
Nah.
All right, so
you know
go
what?
ahead, go ahead.
You know what? Let me start.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie.
Please, Jace.
I'm not gonna lie. I was a little disappointed, in the finale. I felt like it wasn't. I feel like it could have been more, and I don't even really know what I mean. So don't come at me in the comments telling me to write my own story or whatever. But for me, I didn't feel anything. Literally just before we started recording this, I was watching it. I probably hopped on this recording maybe 2 minutes after I finished watching it. I'm not feeling like hype or anything like that. I don't know if you guys feel the same, but that's me.
Which is really a shame.
It really is.
Based on what the show could have been, what it was supposed to be. I will say, for me, so speaking specifically of the finale, I thought it was probably this and last week's episode were definitely the strongest of the season overall. But that's also kind of sad. Like, even the best that the show had to offer kind of fell short for me. And I've been a hater of the show. I'll be completely honest with everybody. We'll get into details, but just overall thoughts. First off, I enjoyed elements of the episode. I felt like at the end they finally hit their stride in certain key areas of the show that it was really lacking before. But overall was pretty disappointed in just the show in general and the direction that they took.
You know, it's weird. I actually felt the opposite. I felt like at least for me, it started off on a high and then it just kept getting worse. And I don't really know what the turning point was. I think maybe because
Are you talking the show or the finale?
I'm talking the show in general.
Okay.
Were you talking finale? Or were you talking the show?
I was talking finale.
Okay, mainly finale.
But keep going about the show. Yeah.
No, yeah. I think at least for the show in general, I think getting towards the end of the show, I expected more because it was nearing the end. And also in the finale too, like, yeah, I felt like there was a decline because obviously, again, spoilers ahead, but you have Punisher going crazy and then it just nothing really that much happens. It's just Karen and it's just Karen and Matt just talking for half the episode.
We'll get more into it. One of my favorite parts. We'll go more through the episode. One of my favorite parts though is it's like this hype moment and Matt's like, you know what? We need an army. They're surrounded by like all these cops and everything like that. And then it just cuts to daytime and it's just like everybody's back to normal. It's like, wait, what happened? And then his army was
Bro, I can't.
Freaking no. Give me a second. Cherry.
Nah, stop the hate on Cherry, bro.
Dude, Cherry might actually be the worst character.
Cherry is...
He's probably the worst character since America Chavez, bro. It's like I can't stand that guy. His character is so pointless. Like, somebody please tell me what the point of his character is. Please.
I don't know, but he had like 5 minutes of screen time. Y'all act like he was a main character. He barely showed up.
Why even have him?
And
Why
still his impact is felt in the most negative way
bro.
possible.
Who knows his name? I'm about to look up how much he got paid for the show. Because
no
he
disrespect to the actor.
No. I'm saying good on him.
He did great.
He policed Marvel Studios. He got money for nothing. He wasn't even like, nah, bro.
Whenever Cherry was on, I was like, dude, what are you doing? Like, time and time again, I'm like, first off, who is this guy? They're trying to act like he's Matt's father. I'm like, he comes in trying to talk all this stuff. But my least favorite part about Cherry was after Daredevil saved some people, he's like, what are you doing, Matt? I'm like, dog,
he's doing
his job. Saved people's lives. Heather would have been dead.
You can let her die.
What was the girl? White Tiger's niece. She would have been gone.
She could die.
So many others.
Bro, chill. Like, she was just trying to say,
ain't no way, Cherry.
No, you didn't like her?
No, she was annoying, bro.
Okay, yes, but she was just trying to say, she was just trying to get justice for her uncle. Valid.
I'm not sure what her plan was. That was my only problem.
No, she was so.
I'm like, why are you going down into like that was just weird to me.
No, that was a little sus. And also, can we talk about how forgive me, I don't know the actor's name that played Muse. Why did he play the same exact role in
Wednesday?
Yeah, he played like the same exact role, like Psycho Kid.
He was cooking in episode 7.
He was though. I liked him. I liked that episode. I think that was probably my favorite episode.
Really?
Honestly. Yeah.
That episode was good.
Yeah, it's better than the finale. I can tell you that much.
I mean, I thought the Muse character was cool, but definitely wasted.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
like majorly wasted. And I think that's just the problem with the whole show. No one really got a story except for Matt and Fisk. Until the end, some other characters actually had something to do besides talk to Matt and Fisk. But like literally the whole show was centered around Matt and Kingpin's story. But yet even their story didn't have that much to it, you know? So when you have characters like Muse or Heather or, you know, there's a new supporting cast that they've really filled out in the show, but we don't care about them. Even Kirsten, right? His lawyer partner.
Yeah.
We don't know about her. We don't know their relationship. We don't know what her storyline is in all this, besides just being the person to tell Matt, like, hey, you're a terrible lawyer. Just so you know, you know?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Fisk's whole storyline, let me sum it up with one word. What word am I about to say, guys? Vanessa. Every single scene he's in, bro. I can't anymore. Stop. We get it. That's her name, Vanessa. He says it every single scene he's in. I'm like, dude, chill. Guys, I'm about to say some blasphemy right now. I'm about to say some blasphemy.
No.
I'm about to say some blasphemy. Y'all know how much I hate Hawkeye, right?
Oh no.
Bro was better in Hawkeye than he was in this show.
Dude.
Nah.
Although I'm not gonna lie, I kind of see where you're coming from.
Because he's actually doing stuff in Hawkeye. Like I just feel like it was the same thing like every single episode with him. Like he was just yelling at people. He just
sat in the office.
Exactly.
And I'm not gonna lie, I get he's still the Kingpin. He's still himself, just as the mayor. But I'm like, whenever he was talking to the actual people of New York or in a conversation in like a mayor way, I'm like, although look at our country now, but like whenever he's talking, whenever he's making a video to the people, the way he's talking, I'm like, I would never trust that man in my life.
No, but
like,
it's so funny, dude.
He'll be like, people of New York. It's a dark time.
He's
and
the most.
I'm like, dog, you're talking to like civilians right now. Why are you talking
that's hilarious
like
because he doesn't know how to. Y'all are
that's
actually
true.
hating on this show so hard, bro.
No.
This show is
I'm not
great.
hating on the show. I'm not hating on the show.
Noah hasn't shared.
Well, first of all, have y'all thought where you would put it in your overall MCU show ranking?
Let me look right now. Let me pull up my
haven't.
list.
But Noah, I want to hear your thoughts. What are your thoughts
I will.
on
I
the
just want to see where it's
finale?
at to see how much y'all are hating. Because just this last Sunday, Zion straight up called this show garbage. So this better be in your bottom half,
Honestly,
including Amazing Spider-Man also.
No, we
Bro,
can't
you're
include that. We
hating.
can't include that.
Yeah, if you're including 1980 X-Men 97, then you have to.
that's true. That is
Well, I
true.
didn't even add that. Oh shoot.
Better than X-Men, but yeah.
Spider-Man's better than X-Men?
Yeah.
That's a crazy take. I think it's up there for sure. But I don't think it's better.
I'm not even going to respond to that.
Yeah, we know
You're
you
such
go
a
that.
rage baiter. You're
I'm
such
not.
a rage baiter,
That's
Noah.
fair.
I'm so
do you mean?
tired. I'm so tired, bro. You always do this.
All right, it's number 5 for me.
I was gonna say mine's 6. No, yeah, 6. Daredevil Born Again. All right, let me ask you this, Zion. 10?
Oh, it's number 10.
Hold on, you think Miss Marvel is better?
Wait.
You think Miss Marvel is better?
I'd rather watch Miss Marvel.
You think What If is better?
I don't have What If about it.
Okay, all right.
I would rather watch every Marvel show besides Echo, She-Hulk, and Secret Invasion and What If. Now, better finale than Miss Marvel, Moon Knight, and Hawkeye.
That's valid.
But overall, as a show,
Those
I'd rather watch those.
Falcon and Winter Soldier finale is low-key trash.
Oh, that too. Most of them are
Every
trash.
finale is garbage except Loki.
WandaVision was pretty good. I mean,
really.
It was disappointing.
It's in the better half of the shows.
Yeah, not a high bar.
Yeah, honestly, that's not really saying much.
So Noah, give us your thoughts on this episode.
Finale,
please.
or
I would love to know
season?
because let's start with the finale because we've kind of hopped around the season real quick, but let's just come back to the finale.
I gotta give context to it.
Do you want me to do a quick recap?
No. I give heavy grace on this show because it's completely cut apart. They had to take half of the show out because people were mad that Foggy and Karen weren't going to be in there doing a whole new storyline.
No, that's not why.
And they didn't like the storyline. They didn't have the plot, whatever. So they had to change it. Yes, but I'd rather have had 18 episodes of mediocrity than a cut-up show.
I cannot watch 18 episodes of.
Bro,
I just want to see the
18
actual
show how they meant to make it. This is a complete cut-up movie or show. And I feel like that's why a lot of the storylines aren't fully fleshed out and the characters aren't fleshed out because they took half of their character arc out of the entire show. That being said, season 2 is about to be fire.
I think it actually will be.
Season 2 is about to be better than any Daredevil season ever. I'm saying it right now. Prediction.
I think season 2 is going to be really good because I feel like season 1 was honestly just set up, and that's why the finale was so underwhelming.
The finale, they changed it to just be a complete setup for season 2.
I can get behind that. I think season 2 will be good. Yeah.
And the finale was kind of underwhelming, but it's because they're literally just not even finishing a story. They're just having a jumping off point for season 2. They brought Karen back, so now we can have more of the OG cast back. They have Frank back. He's about to have his own storyline. We're going to have like season 2 cast back, as well as Heather, which I don't like Heather. Also, Daniel, great character. He started cooking later.
I like Daniel.
He finally came around.
Well, yeah.
He was fired. The task force, I actually really like that whole thing. The scene where the power's out and the guy just shoots the robber, and he's like, "That was a kid," and he just pulls his beanie over his head and was like, "Nah, that was a mass vigilante." Like, bro, they're messed up. When he put his hand in like the deep fryer thing in the oil.
Hey, can we talk about the?
Dude, I was shocked.
Away.
Hey, if you're listening on audio and you didn't see what I just did, actually, I'm not even gonna explain it because that's probably get us like banned or something. But
let's just say what Kingpin does to old boy.
Poor commissioner.
Okay, wait. I actually was kind of confused because I kind of zoned out when that the commissioner was he on the phone with Sheila what happened? Like what made
No,
Kingpin?
he had somehow recorded their conversation, and he was listening to their conversation.
No, Sheila recorded the conversation.
No, well, that's tough.
That's why she was safe.
Yeah.
Because Kingpin would have gone to her immediately.
Yeah.
That's why she was safe. She recorded it, showed it to Fisk to cover herself.
But what were they
And
talking
then
about?
they were talking about how he's gonna go to like who was he going to?
Some of the higher ups in the
Whoever
government to try to
Yeah, I
like,
see.
yeah.
Yeah, that's tough, bro.
Whew.
That's tough.
Which is just like yeah. So in this episode we have Fisk kind of using all of his powers to push forward his agendas, his anti-vigilante agenda, kind of turn the police into his own personal military with no restrictions and things like that. Cuts the power to the entire city, which is insane. Puts in a curfew, like threatens the entire city council. I don't know how realistic this all is because obviously there's some really corrupt stuff that politicians can do. However, I really wish the political world was fleshed out a little more beyond just Fisk's like little section. You know,
for real.
because a lot of it, I'm like, how is he doing all this? Like, you're telling me every cop in the whole city is corrupt?
Exactly.
Or like, where are the other cops that are? And I'm not for like the propaganda stuff.
And they would just literally tell him, "No, you can't do that. I'm gonna do it anyway," and it gets done. And that happened multiple times.
Yeah,
They would explain
it's
like
just
5
like
different
no
reasons.
regard.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. I mean, I wish it was more like you said. I wish we saw more into the political, state of things. Not, I guess, yeah, more just the city in general, because he was just doing stuff. Anything he wanted was done. Like he's not a dictator. He's the mayor.
We've been a little negative. I will say having
y'all been
Karen. That's true. Having Karen, the Punisher, back, those moments to me felt really great. And it was like, dang, I really wish we had more of this in the actual season.
Yeah,
Because
Frank
I
was going
think,
crazy.
yeah, and even just besides the action element of it, like his character is just fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
The way that he talks, the things that he says, his dynamic with Daredevil, it's just always good. And I did enjoy that the Kingpin finally in this episode turned fully villain again. Like, for me, he's been like Mayor Fisk this whole season. And in this episode, you finally saw him act as Kingpin again fully. And that felt more natural because I think it's been unnatural to see him in this mayor role. And even these last two episodes gave the other characters what we've been asking for in terms of more agency, more story. You had the whole BB Urich thing with the commissioner, even though no lead now there. You have other characters, Donald Blake and Sheila and their dynamic, and you have more going on, which is really nice. Even everything with Heather that happened, really interesting. And with her now being like the mental health person for the mayor thing, like some interesting stuff, but overall just super, it just felt low quality. It really did.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. I felt like it was better at first, and it kind of dropped off. But
Yeah.
y'all let us know in the comments what you think, if we're crazy, because I know Noah likes it. Noah thinks we're crazy. But I don't know, man.
Here's my final argument, and I want to talk about the future of the show and the MCU stuff. We always got to touch on it. But for me, the show had two goals, and I felt like it failed at both of them. It had to be a worthy sequel to the show, the original show. No matter what you wanted to say about them doing something new, and now it's MCU and Disney Plus and all that, regardless, you're bringing back the same characters and you're relying on the old story. So it has to live up to it. And it had to show how Daredevil now functioned within the MCU that he's never really gotten to play in before. And in both of those ways, I felt like it failed.
How so?
Just because story-wise, I get, have grace for the showrunners. Like, they were given a really hard task of having to cut apart an old show and force together a new plot with what they could. And I get it. But even still, the blame is on Marvel Studios for even pushing through what wasn't going to work in the first place. So the show didn't live up to what came before, I felt. And then there was so little of the outside world in any way. You have Fisk being the mayor of New York, which has numerous vigilantes and heroes that we've already seen in the MCU and even in the old Daredevil Netflix universe, and none of them came up. They talked about hunting vigilantes and, cracking down on that. And we didn't get to see even a little glimpse. And I'm not even asking for Spider-Man. I'm wondering where Luke Cage is. I'm wondering where Jessica Jones is at, or some other small characters, heroes, villains in New York. I don't know, I'm trying to think of who else could show up. But in the end, he's sitting there and he's talking about we need an army. And it's like all normal people in a room that can do nothing. It's like, yo, dude, call your friend Luke Cage.
He will. That was the next morning, bro. That was immediately after. I'm telling you, season 2.
He had time to call all of them, though.
It was Cherry, bro. Cherry rounded them all up. That's what Cherry does,
dude.
That's Cherry's purpose, bro.
I hate Cherry.
Dude, I have a personal vendetta against Cherry.
I do. I haven't hated a character like this in years.
Not even America Chavez?
Bro, that's
Heck
all
no.
We don't even hear.
That's your thing, dog.
That was the...
You always mention America Chavez, and I'm like, dog, why?
Bro, that was... oh my god, dude. She was just standing there. She was just standing there, just punches like a star or something. She's like, whoa. Get out of here, dog. Get out.
Oh, man. My wife the other day asked, she was like, you know what? She's like, I really want to do a Marvel rewatch, an MCU rewatch, chronological. And I'm not going to lie, my heart dropped a little bit. I was... Which is a sad place to be, but I'm like, I'm not trying to watch all that again, Yeah.
If we could cherry pick, we should in one of our episodes we should cherry pick like a Marvel rewatch of things that we actually want to watch, and then leave out some of this stuff. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not watching Thor: The Dark World again. I'm not. I'm just not.
No,
you should give it one more try. I'm telling you. When was the last time you watched it?
Shoot,
it's been years. Give it one more chance. You don't have to watch Love and Thunder. That's recent. We can skip over that.
Nah, I can't give Thor: The Dark World another chance. The same way I'd probably watch Iron Man 3 again. But there's just some...
I'm skipping Iron Man 2 and 3.
Yeah, I don't like 2. 2 that wasn't even a question. 2's not getting watched. 3 is still up for debate. But there's just some that I just can't. I just can't watch it. I know for a fact I'm not watching Black Widow ever again in my life.
I actually didn't think it was that bad. The end was absolutely just...
It was pretty bad then.
Offensive.
I wish I got those $14 back from seeing that in theater.
Did we watch that in theater?
Yeah, I did.
That was
pandemic. Yeah, that was unfortunate.
Mm-hmm. We were there with our masks, just chilling. What's one movie that you wish you could get your money back from? Like, if you had to choose one.
If I had to choose,
I know what mine is.
I want my 2 hours back from Ant-Man in Quantumania.
You watched that in theaters?
No, I didn't pay for it. We watched it at home, and I'm mad that I lost 2 hours of my life on that stupid movie. That is the worst movie that's ever existed. I refuse to watch it.
I can literally name like 5 movies that
get mine. They didn't get mine. I was tired. I fell asleep. I still haven't seen the movie all the way through.
Don't, bro.
I've seen bits and pieces.
No, you gotta watch it. You gotta finish it.
No,
That's
I
legit the worst
finished
movie
it,
I've
but
ever
it
seen
took
in
me
my
like
life.
a month. It took me a month to get through it.
That's
I'm not even lying.
I'm
I
rewatching
kept
She-Hulk
falling
all the way
asleep.
through before I watch that movie again. And Secret Invasion, both of them. Run it up. I don't care,
But
bro.
you know what?
It was actually a waste of my it hurt my soul. It hurt my soul. I don't know how that concept. You could literally make that concept of a show. I was so hyped. I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be so good."
You could make Secret Invasion your Avengers film.
Yep.
Literally,
You could have made that an event.
Literally.
That show, man. Just killed Maria Hill for no reason.
The biggest
that was the
waste
most random death, and they never even talked about it again.
The Maria's death was so fast, and I thought it was a joke. I thought it was a scroll.
Yeah,
like, straight up.
Nope.
That's so bad. You know a movie I wish I could pick though. I debated against it, but I don't know if I think you were with us, Jase. We went to the Chinese theater in Hollywood, and they chose to go see The Flash.
Oh no, I wasn't with you. Nope.
Jase, the Lord is with you.
Noah made me watch that on a plane. That was the longest flight ever. I wanted to turn it off in the first 5 minutes. So bad.
Yeah, he tried turning it off. We had to bring that back.
What was the moment? What was the moment in The Flash where you wanted to turn it off?
Take one guess. Take one guess. I'll give you one guess in the first few scenes of the movie.
I'm gonna guess it was either
legit first 5 minutes.
Him saving all the babies, or Wonder Woman showing up.
Not even a question, bro. Not even a question. Nah. I'm about to get heated. Let me show.
See, how you feel about that is how I feel every time I see Cherry pop up on my screen. Cherry is a problem. Cherry is a problem, man.
He's just trying to be a mentor, bro.
Hold on.
Who the heck is Cherry? Where did Cherry come from?
They mentioned him in the first episode before the whole fight sequence. They said something about how he's retiring.
Right.
Was he like a retiring police officer? And then he saw Daredevil take his mask off. And then
all
they
of a sudden he's like, "Come here, son. Let me nurture you into the opposite direction you should be going in."
Yeah, let's not pick people. Hold on. I have a genuine
leave it to the cops. I said
I have a genuine question. I know I keep making this go off track, but do you guys think that Gal Gadot thinks that she's a good actress? Like, genuinely, do you think that she thinks she's good? Like, does she watch her movies and be like, "Oh, I ate that, bro"?
No.
Like after Snow White came out, I kept getting like the compilations of Gal Gadot's bad acting.
Yeah.
Oh man,
it's tough.
I feel bad for her at this point, but it's like you keep doing it to yourself.
It's so
you just got to retire at this point.
I'm just imagining like the directors when they're filming, they're just like, good take, Gal, good job. I know they're just shaking in their boots knowing they're about to lose so much money on this film. I'm sorry. Let me stop now because I just can't.
Did you watch Snow White?
I'm not watching Snow White, and I'm never watching Snow White. I can tell you that right now.
All right, guys, 1,000 subscribers, and we're doing Snow White live.
I'm watching Madam Web 100 times before I watch that movie.
We still haven't watched that. We still haven't watched Madam Web. But I'm fine with that. Like, you can have a bad movie as long as, like, because Dakota Johnson, she knew it was a bad movie. Like, you could tell in all the interviews.
Oh, for sure.
But with Gal Gadot, I don't know, man. I don't know.
I'm not gonna lie though. After seeing some of it, I would rather watch Snow White.
Oh,
I'd rather watch Snow White.
I wouldn't be able to sit down and watch that, Zion. Like, I wouldn't be able to actually sit down in place and watch that movie. There's no way. I'm crashing out at some point, probably within the first scene.
But I was trying to think of a transition there.
We can just get back on track.
Yeah, this is supposed to be a Daredevil episode, and we're talking about Snow White.
All right, so the future of Daredevil. They're already filming season 2. I wish they had waited to get some more notes.
Nah. We got to get a rollout quick.
Oh, I wish they had waited. But what's going to happen? Is this story going to impact the larger MCU? What do you guys want to see moving forward?
I don't think. Nah, it's just gonna stay in New York. Because first of all, I need Matt to stop getting beat up on by everybody he fights. He's always
that's
been like
him every season, bro.
He's like in critical condition after fighting like
bro. That's what he always does. That's why I didn't want to watch the show for so long, bro. He's literally is just out of breath after like 1 10-second fight.
Yeah, so I don't know how it's gonna fit into like further MCU because he can't fight without being on bed rest for like 5 days. And I also don't understand how in the finale he was like first of all he got shot and then he was in bed and then the very next scene he was in the Daredevil fighting and then 30 seconds later he was grabbing like where he got shot. Like I don't know.
He pushed through it, bro.
It was a roller coaster. So
it was.
I don't know how it translates. I want it to translate into the MCU. I think it'd be pretty cool. Maybe if he could do some stuff with like Kate Bishop or something. But
no, our boy, he's on the Kate Bishop level of heroes. That's so sad. No disrespect to Kate. I would love to see if this connects to the larger universe. I'm really afraid that it's not.
Yeah.
We have multiple projects that are going to be taking place in New York soon. We have Thunderbolts that comes out in a few weeks. And it seems like that's going to be in New York. I doubt Kingpin as mayor, any of that is going to have any impact on what happens. We have Spider-Man coming out next year. I believe so.
Is it 2026?
Mm-hmm.
That's all sure.
Oh, it might be 2027.
Well,
but needless to say, I think it's kind of a waste to just have Kingpin in this show, and that's it.
Yeah.
You could do so much with it, but I feel like they're not.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I'm not mad at Daredevil not showing up in other projects. I don't really want him to. I don't want other people coming into the Daredevil show next season. Unless it's like maybe one or two. Like, I don't want to see Spider-Man or Kate Bishop or any of the other ones. If it's ones from the Netflix shows, then that's okay. But I don't want other people coming in and make it just the usual MCU cameo fest, and it just like brings down the quality.
You don't want Thanos to pull up. Nah, just kidding. Yeah, I mean, I kind of. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't see how any of like the supernatural can be in that show because it would be really hard for not only Matt to like deal with that, but also just to integrate it into the show in general when it's already so grounded.
But I think Daredevil is not like how we usually talk about Batman movies where it's like a completely separate world. I mean, this is still the same world that everything has happened in. And even in Daredevil, which was a much grounded, thing, you had immortal ninja clans and, people coming back to life and Iron Fist with whatever his magic was. Like, you still had elements of that in the old stuff. So I think, but I'm not even asking for like Supernatural or for Spider-Man to show up. I just want to see him do more. And I want Daredevil back in church. Get this man in a church service.
Honestly, get Cherry in a church service.
Cherry might be beyond salvation, brother. I'm just playing.
I got fed up. I ain't gonna lie. I wasn't gonna say this, but I got fed up with Daredevil and the whole church thing in season 3. The first 6 episodes of the show was literally just him and the nun talking the entire episode. He didn't do anything. But that I was so annoyed.
But it was good dialogue, storytelling.
For if you want to do it for a little bit of episode, cool. That half the season
Yeah,
is
that's
gonna be
fair.
you and this nun talking about why you're not gonna become Daredevil. Overrated, bro.
Wow, that's crazy. Do we want to give this our Yonerd rating?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
We got a scale. We rate it. Yo is the best show, best project that it could possibly be. A tier, B tier, C tier, and then we have Yo. What are we doing?
I'm gonna give it like a low B. We'll say a low B. I give it a low B because it honestly started off higher, and I felt like the quality kind of decreased as the show went on. Like, of course, stuff got cut out, which is unfortunate. But I feel like the actual, I don't know, I just feel like the actual quality of the show, not even like the storyline, not the characters. I feel like the actual quality of the show could have been a little bit better.
A little bit. I'm giving this the Yo.
No, Zion.
Guys, I'm sorry.
Yeah, like no, don't
I have
explain
not.
yourself. Don't
No,
try,
no,
bro.
no.
That's disgusting, bro. That's actually so weird. That's so weird.
Zion, bro, you cannot put
No,
this
no.
on the same level as Secret Invasion. It's just not. It's just not valid.
Okay, but I'll admit there's probably some expectations in there that might be a little unfair. But regardless, if you're bringing back the same actor, if you're bringing back the same story and just
It
continuing
wasn't the same
on,
story. It was a completely new story. You brought two of the returning
no,
people.
not
You
two,
brought the main character and the
multiple.
villain.
They referenced storylines from the past. It's still the same continuity. So if that's the case, I'm going to judge it on the basis of how well it did as a sequel to what came before. And it fell so far down. I was honestly shocked that they did what they did to the show. There were some bright spots. I'll give it that. There were some things I enjoyed, but even those elements overshadow or couldn't make better what was so bad about the show for me. So I'm giving it a Yo.
I'm so disappointed in you.
He's gonna give it an A.
No, I'm gonna be reasonable. I give it a very high B. I think it's near the mid level of the MCU shows, but I have it top 5. I give it grace because it's half a show cut up together. Also, I'm calling it now. The next season is going to be S, or it's going to be Yo. I'm calling it now.
I think the next season is
it's
going to be
Yo.
much better.
It's going to be incredible.
It better be better.
What is the same
show?
All
right, let's go through the season. Even though it's cut in half, episode 1 was incredible. We all agree.
Like this season?
Yes, of Born Again.
Yeah, it's good. I was hyped on it. I was good.
Yeah.
The second I saw Daredevil pop up on screen looking like a stop motion character.
Sorry, I don't know why I'm even.
I said
you just
no.
put this in the same thing as She-Hulk. I don't want to. You're away from this conversation. This is just me and Jason. Episode 2, 3, 4 were eh. Episode 5 I didn't like the filler episode in the bank. That was useless.
I actually kind of like that episode.
There's a connection with Miss Marvel's dad.
Yeah.
There you go, Zion.
I enjoyed that.
That's the thing you enjoyed? That episode? All right.
No, I didn't enjoy the episode per se.
Really
I liked the connection.
And the last 3 episodes were really good. Episode 7 was amazing with Muse. That was amazing. Bro. That whole scene with Muse where she's talking with Heather and he's like draws
doesn't
himself.
Make a good show.
I'm explaining through the season. You had 5 mid and 4 really good.
And so that's almost A?
The last 2 episodes were not that good, bro.
No, they were good, bro. The finale, bro. You had Matt. He was good. Kingpin was great. I don't know why I hate on Kingpin.
No, Kingpin was good.
What?
In the finale.
Kingpin from day 1 was good, but he was trying to put on this facade of being a mayor. But slowly, as the season went on, you slowly saw he just couldn't be mayor. He's not. He's Kingpin.
Why put on a facade?
Because he's trying to get more power. He doesn't want to just be a random crime person. Here, he went to jail. He almost died multiple times. He's trying to get himself in a more powerful position. he talked about it. He said now he can move millions. Like, he's putting himself in a power position now. But you can slowly see him reverting back to Kingpin. In the end, he brutally murders poor Gallo.
Yeah, that was bad.
Frank in this episode, he was incredible. He's one of the best characters in the MCU. He was gruesome.
That is an insane state. One of the best characters in the MCU.
Yes. Not saying just from this. I'm saying including what he did in the Netflix.
Frank.
Punisher. That's not even crazy, bro. He consistently outshines Matt, who's already one of the better characters.
Yeah, but in the MCU, there's so many characters in the MCU.
Who's one of the best villains. He even in season 2, when everyone was in their prime, he was the best character in that whole season.
That's fine, but there's so many characters in the MCU that are better than him. I can name like 10 right now.
No, don't even try. And you're gonna bring up Cap again. Just nah, bro.
You're telling me,
bro, Cap's so bland half the time, bro. We're done with that. We're done with the Cap blaze. Anyway, this show was great. This show was really good. I enjoy it. I'm ready for season 2. And y'all are haters, especially you, Zion. That was actually disgusting. Having it in the same thing as Echo, Secret Invasion, and She-Hulk is crazy work. Name me one good thing from Secret Invasion. A singular scene. A moment. A shot. A character.
You know what? A shot?
A dialect. Anything.
Okay, I'm not defending Secret Invasion because it was honestly offensive that they released it. But there was that one cool shot, and it's from the trailer as well, when it's blurry and then Nick Fury steps out of the light of the spaceship and then it focuses in on him. That was a cool shot.
That was lame. Garbage.
I'm still waiting.
Walk over to a safe house in the woods. Like, bruh.
I'm not saying it's on the same level as She-Hulk and Secret Invasion. Okay,
you literally
but it's on the upper. It's on the upper level. Okay.
No.
Would it make you feel better if it was low C?
Yes.
The lowest you could possibly go on a C.
This guy, dude. If it's not Andor, it's just not up. The writing isn't good as long as it's not Andor, bro. This guy. I can't wait till we start talking about Andor. It's gonna be the greatest show of all time.
No, bro.
The first 5
Andor
minutes,
bro.
is
so...
It's about to be.
Andor had 3 good episodes, bro.
No, we're what, a week away?
Oh,
we're a week away. Your guys' time is coming to an end. Your era is over. We about to enter Andor.
Oh my,
true cinema, and we're gonna see what a television show should actually be.
This show clowns Andor. I don't even care, bro. I enjoyed myself watching this show.
Thanks
Andor
for watching.
Please, for 8 episodes.
Actually, you can dislike the video. You can dislike the video since we have Noah on here. You can
saying
dislike
it's the same
it.
tier as She-Hulk, bro. Crazy work.
All right. No, chill. Don't ever mention any show besides Secret Invasion.
He said it's on the same tier as She-Hulk. That's what I said. He put on the same exact tier.
Yeah. No,
get mad at him now.
Nah, no, I just put on the same tier.
I said low C.
No. After we had a debate with you, in your heart, before we said anything, you put on the same tier as She-Hulk.
Okay, I wasn't thinking about She-Hulk. I was just thinking about my time in the show. I didn't say it was the greatest. I said it's...
What's better than it, Zion? In your opinion? Live action. Okay, yeah. So it's your greatest show of all time.
I gotta think about it. I gotta think about it. No, I didn't think about it. I'm tired, so I didn't think about it. I'm not saying it's the greatest show of all time. First season is slow. All right, had some pacing issues.
Yes, first season is slow. There's only one season. What do you mean the first season was slow? But you already have it as the greatest show of all time, and you said, yeah, it's slow.
I didn't say it was the greatest show of all time. I said it's the best Star Wars show.
What's a better live action show?
I'm thinking.
How many episodes were in
season 12.
He actually can't name a better show, guys. This is crazy.
Hold on. No, because I feel like I'm gonna be judged, and then
people are
gonna be like, "All right, no. I need to explain why I love Andor to the people."
No, you don't. No, you don't. We can explain when we have the Andor.
We have Andor in 1 week, and I have to painfully sit through that.
Dude. All right, I'm done. There's Daredevil. There's Daredevil.
Yo, we hate on so many
We
things
are-
on this podcast, bro. This episode is just pure hate.
Guys, I truly am sorry. I do love like Daredevil, the character, the show that they built.
Not
Punisher,
this show.
Karen, not this show. The previous show. Charlie Cox is Daredevil. Vincent D'Onofrio is Kingpin. Vanessa. And the wonderful actress that plays her. I'm sorry, I don't know your name. You guys did a phenomenal job. Yes.
When I was a boy.
I'm sorry we're so chaotic. We haven't filmed in like 2 weeks, and I think
We just had
it's just all this stuff built up.
Yeah.
We just need to get out.
We're back.
We're back now.
Hey, but seriously, let us know your guys' comments on Daredevil Born Again or anything else that we talked about, because we got so off topic. I don't even know if we're going to leave half the stuff in, but if we do, let us know what you think. And we'll be back here next time with a different topic. See you guys later.
There you go.